Want to see a house on the market but cannot make it to the property? No problem. Real estate expert Rick Sadle with Keller Williams Realty and SadleRealestate.com is with us right now. Rick, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
All right, let's talk about virtual showings and virtual tours of homes. So these probably became pretty popular during COVID, I'm guessing. Yes? How do they work?
Yeah. Well, virtual tours, as we like to call them, they can encompass a lot of things, right? It used to be that they were just pictures of homes stitched together to make a panorama, right? Back in the old days. And then we went to more complex versions of the same thing. Nowadays, we have like this $5,000 virtual camera that scans 360-degree scans of each room in the house. So you can actually put on VR goggles if you have them and virtually walk through the house. We even have a little drone that can fly through people's houses and record a video tour, right? Virtual showings, as we said, along with virtual tours, have always been, fairly popular, but they really took off during COVID. There was a period of time we weren't even able to go to people's houses during COVID. The only way we could see a house was virtually. We used things like video calls so people could get a good feeling of the house, did live tours via FaceTime with people who weren't comfortable showing up physically. All those things can be a real lifesaver.
Yeah, I did not know about the drones and the the goggles and everything. That's really cool. Um, Mostly for buyers who are out of town. Is that who you're doing it for these days?
We definitely do it for all buyers, right? There are a lot of buyers that use these virtual tours and virtual showings as a kind of way of like pre-showing a house, right? In the old days, you used to go out and look at 10 or 20 homes before deciding on a house. Nowadays, people are looking at houses, virtually in their underwear in the evening and then ruling out the ones they don't want to go see in person, right? So for people out of town, it's kind of the same thing. They use them to narrow down the number of houses they have to go see when they travel here for a couple of days to look at and buy a house.
From the buyer's perspective here, Rick, their eyes, what makes a good virtual showing or a tour of a property? And are there, things that buyers on the other side of the lens should be asking their realtor to show them?
Well, I think the best virtual tours are ones like the video tours we talked about, or ones through the VR goggles, ones that really give you a good feeling for the house instead of just a 2D flat picture, right? Gives you more an idea of the warmth and the scale of the house, the scale of the rooms, right? What it feels like to travel through the house, what the flow is like, all of those things.
That's super cool. At the end of the day, can a decision be made about putting in an offer on a home after a virtual tour?
You can make that decision without seeing the property physically. In fact, we've had a lot of people do that. I don't know that it's the best idea unless it's absolutely necessary, right? You get so much from visiting a house. How loud is the traffic noise? What's the neighborhood like? You could look at Google Street View and see the houses around you, and that's a good middle step, but you can't chat with the neighbors next door and find out what they think or see what parking is like on the different times of the day. All those things of being physically there just gives you feedback on whether or not you want to live in that neighborhood.
Yeah, you still can't replace that. But we've come a long way. Thanks so much for the info on the virtual tours, Rick. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
That is Rick Sadle, real estate expert with Keller Williams Realty and SadleRealestate.com.